Hello, very cold fizzy drink. There are dangerous things you can do to hurt yourself, and I'm going to show you not to do them. Drawing fractals. Drawing fractals is what everybody does in crypto. We love it because you're trying to predict the future. You get a pattern of the past and you just overlay it. And I can tell you, I've seen enough of this to know zero edge. In fact, I'll actually call it negative edge. It gives you the wrong perspective. You look at the wrong things and you lose your sense of touch. So it's almost like if I had to give you directions to where to go to let's say you want to go to my house and I'll give you directions from another location and you have to see the signs and the distance and you actually got to use your brain. But then if I just put it in a GPS, you're not really thinking. You're just in autopilot. You're not looking out. Like, what if something changes? What if there's a blockage in the road? You got to go somewhere else. Okay? A lot of these things change in crypto. All of people's emotions, the news, different things are pumping. It's never static. So, fractals is how everybody gets into trouble. See, I have an XRP fractal here. This is what everybody thought was coming. And when I mean everyone, I mean literally every single influencer who knew how to use a chart had this fractal up. You're going to see it. Because XRP pumped, for a quick refresher, before we go through my tweet, just remember, XRP, yes, XRP is a slow poopy now, but once upon a time, XRP did a 550x in 1 year. Isn't that absolutely nuts? Nuts! So, it's crazy. It did 500x, formed a religion. However, it's not growing as much. It went too much. So, everybody had this fractal. What everyone did was, they looked at this spike, and they looked at this spike, and they go, oh, that's going to happen again. And look, you got a little bit of spike. You're nothing. You got this distance. So, that's what everyone did. Everyone just thought, hey, if you did this, hey, we should be able to do this. We didn't. We didn't go to $10. I thought we would. I did not think it would stop this low and this crap. It's the third cycle curse. So in my tweet here, right, I even show you XRP. We expected $10, but it stopped at $1.70 and then dropped again. Cycles diminish over time. The euphoria lessens. Don't do the fractal trap on your 2025 bags. I am here to warn you. Hopefully, you pay attention and your back is not slanted and you are wearing your socks and you're listening, you're paying attention, and grab your ears and just lift your ears up to the ceiling so they're perked. You perk your ears up. You got to start learning this. You're not going to believe any of my information, any of my value, if you're new to crypto and then you see green candles and things are moving. No chance in hell are people going to listen. But if I hammer this into your head for a long time, you will hopefully avoid this trap. Man, look how tempting it is, friends. Look how tempting it is. Of course, that's what we want to see, right? Like, oh, yeah, that's a little spiky thing. Woo, I'm going to get out. That's the problem. In my previous videos and my tweets, I've mentioned this before, but I know I say a lot of juice. It's very hard to drink all the juice. I always now have the opinion of I will never invest based off the assumption that I'm going to get out quick and other people are going to be suckers to buy. Never. That has always failed me. They are called long shots. Long shots, okay? Now, traditionally, a long shot is, great investors like Peter Lynch and other investors, they say, sometimes a long shot is, normally I invest in stuff where I think has like a 80% chance of winning, but I think this is more towards like the 30% chance, so I'll give it a shot, Many of them say whenever they try to do long shots, they actually fail. Most of the time most people have actually never succeeded in a long shot. And the ones you do here, there's big survivorship bias. It's like, 500 fail and one person wins. So most of the long shots are not worth it. So this would be why would this be a long shot? It would be, well, I don't really believe in it. I don't think they're getting adoption. However, I'm just, in the off chance that it kind of just spikes up to $10, I'm going to get out quick and let everyone believe. That was my mentality for owning XRP when I bought it. And I just had a bullet. Wasn't that? It wasn't huge or anything, just one bullet. But I now look back and I'm like, man, we're going to avoid this in the future. I'm not going to invest unless you can put your balls on the table. All your ovaries. Nothing less than that. You really got to do your research. You got to see how it all moves. And you got to hold to good targets, man. If you really think you're going to be the one to get out quick and it's all going to work out good, it's going to be wrong. Because if you're thinking of that, either one of two things happens. One, it never actually gets there. It never actually gets there. So this is one, never actually gets there, and you're a poopy. You're a result of a poopy. It never actually gets there. You thought you were going to sell at $10. It barely goes there, comes back down. Number two is it actually does go there and you get out. But unfortunately, you face the rocket emoji because you sold too early. So that's what I've seen time and time again. Either they're in something garbage and it doesn't move, or it ends up being the moonshot and they got out too early. That's why you got to hold, man. You got to hold. The winning rocket will make up for everything. So this is a trap in crypto. We often do these fractals. Now I'm going to move on to something juicy because we have some moon maths here. We have HEX. I've got, $8.80. Yeah. But chill out. We're going to go back. Just do this XRP. You got to focus on this. Everybody does these types of fractals. They appear on Twitter, on YouTube, and they always say, if it did what it did in the past, it's going to go here. Unfortunately, from everything I've seen, there's a 95% chance your coin will diminish over time. Doesn't mean it goes down. It just means the euphoria lessens on average. There's only one coin who broke the euphoria. That was Doge. Doge in its third cycle broke it. But look, you had the world's richest man shitting it. Okay? So it's different. It's not the rule. It's the exception. So usually the rule is over time, you get less FOMO. You actually, the community needs to actually really start doing the hard work, grinding work. And XRP, unfortunately, is a tale that many people are still holding on to. We're going to move on from this because it served its purpose. We've learned. I know many people got hurt in XRP, but don't see it as you got hurt because there are plenty of people coming in the next cycle who are going to make the same mistake. They are still buying Bitcoin. And guess what? They're still buying Ethereum. They think Ethereum's going to go to 20K. And hey, I hope they're right and I hope I'm right. But on average, we know returns diminish. We know the euphoria lessens. If you want to hold out for that, good luck to you. You can take that chance. I'm not taking that chance. So you ask me, how do you avoid this? If returns diminish, does that mean we give up? No, it doesn't mean we give up. It just means you buy in the depression. You buy in the depression. That's what it means. Okay, if you buy in the depression, like when Ethereum had depression down here, if you buy in the depression, Ethereum's $200 at 4.5K, up 20x. That's Ethereum blue chip back then, doing good stuff. It wasn't a blue chip back then, but it was really solid, ranking number 2. With all the other coins, you got to buy super cheap. Obviously, the next topic we're going to talk about is HEX, and look at this, 95% off the top. And people are saying this isn't depression. Come on, man. What? I got to go 99 for you to feel bad? Come on, man. 96, 97% off the top. You put a regular chart? Yes. That's how you avoid getting trapped with the fractals. You actually buy when it's low. You buy very, very, very aggressively. Not, I'm going to nibble, it might go to 0. Nope. No, you don't. You do your research first. I'm your research. That's why you're actually lucky and blessed because we're friends. You don't actually need to go and do 18 hours a day you just watch my videos. Isn't that juicy? So let's go to some moon maths. I prepared you. I've buttered you up with, look, just chill out. I can do a fractal on anything and I can make any number appear. I promise you that. All right. I can make the maths go like that. But there's only one result that's going to happen. One. All right. It's I'll have a coin flip, I can give you any formula. It's going to be heads or tails. Doesn't matter. When I flip that coin, it's only landing on one side. So Bitcoin, its low to high measures are big. All right. This table compares Bitcoin to HEX. we're going to bring up the Bitcoin chart. I want you to see this. I want you to see these beautiful, juicy waves. Over time, we had these beautiful, juicy waves. Now, a lot of people get tilted when you compare Bitcoin and HEX. They do. I'm going to bring up the logos here just so, it's very offensive when people talk about a coin and you go and see the logo anywhere. You need to see it. You need to feel it. So a lot of people say, how dare you? This is a stupid, disgusting thing to compare Bitcoin and HEX. You see, I don't actually care about what Bitcoin does and what HEX does. I don't care. Do you know what I care about? I care about one thing here, my 4 hearts of friendship and justice, which tell me that I don't judge people and I'm not here to determine what the code does. I'm here to observe a pattern and to show you the truth. And the truth is that both Bitcoin and HEX go after the same demographic. You're like, oh my God, people are gasping when they hear this. Yes, store of value. Now, you can argue one of them does it crap and one of them does it good. I don't really care. They do the same thing. Just like how there's Coke and Pepsi. Yeah, you might not like Pepsi or Coke. You don't like them. I don't care. They both go after people who want soft drinks. So, Bitcoin and HEX are both store of value. They both go after that want of people to, I want to put my money somewhere as a long-term savings account and I want it to appreciate. I want it to gain value. I want to save today and I want accelerated savings because I don't want to touch it in 1 month, 3 months. I want to touch it in 3, 4, 5 years plus. And I want it to be big, juicy, girthy, huge rocket gains. So this is, many people want this. You can sit here and argue with yourself that people don't want this or it's right or wrong. No one cares. No one cares, all right? So we're here to look at the facts. The facts are they both go after the same people. They have a different method, but they go after the same people. Now, the first Bitcoin wave was 8,000x from its low to its high. Off the chart. Off when it started printing on the chart. Now, we can't do all of these perfectly. Yes, because Bitcoin technically had an infinite return because it started off as 0. But we're going to have to just use these basic numbers, all right? And we have 8,000x done here. Okay, so from less than a cent all the way to $32. And this $32, Da Vinci, J15, and Richard Hart both bought here. they both bought at the top of 8,000x. Oh, and they still killed it. They still absolutely killed it. So just, not all hope is lost. Now, HEX did a 10,000x. A lot of people think, maybe it was manipulated down and then manipulated up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because even if you take conservative numbers at the end, we're still going to get juicy rewards. Everything says auto buy HEX under 10 cents. Everything. So Bitcoin, in its second wave, did a 500x, which is 520x here. See this? So I'm reading up here. 500x. And then the third wave did 100x from the low to the high. Right? Big. Absolutely huge. So I've postulated here. If HEX does a 500x in its second wave, it gives you $8.80. Isn't that juicy? So I want you to know, remember, I just spent half this video talking to you about XRP's fractals. So don't think this means, oh, we win. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means fractals are a trap, but still look at the information. You got to know what you're dealing with, okay? Because you never know, man. Maybe you've turned $5,000 into 250K, and it's like $1. I don't know. But HEX is $1, and you're like, yeah, I just want to get all of it out. But maybe this video convinces you, hey, you don't actually need that 250K. Why don't you sell just 3/4 of it, all right? And then you leave like whatever 70K or 50K, and maybe it actually goes to $8. Maybe just like, whatever, I'm just leaving a boom bag, leaving, 1/5, 1/4. Maybe it actually gives you, and then, you make like another 200K out of that. Of course, you're going to have regret from selling anything, but at least I can help you realize that because of Metcalfe's law and the growing network effect and how these things work, you're not going to be able to sell the top because crypto, we just go further than everyone can wildly imagine. Unfortunately, everyone had big imaginations in 2021, so we stopped under that. But now everyone's imaginations are so low. We're only thinking, 80 grand Bitcoin and everything's going to be trash. That's good. That's very good. We want that. We want everyone's targets to be lower. So yeah, you can get an $8.80 target for HEX. But what do I like to do? I like to go conservative because, $8.80, if you do $8.80 divided by whatever, let's say you had to buy at 7 cents, right? 125. Actually, no, it's not. Yes, 125x from here. I don't want you to put 10 grand here. Let's say you have more, but you can put 10 grand and you think, oh wow, 125x, I'll make 1.25 million. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go take the most optimistic case or whatever. You should be saying, oh my God, there is a chart here in clear depression. Except that one, clear depression. And two, maybe these targets are way too optimistic. I want them to hit. I want them to hit more than you can wildly imagine. All right, I want an $8 HEX too. I want a $5 HEX. But what if that doesn't happen? What if we get scammed? What if another SBF comes and just scams us? What if something really bad happens? The crypto industry sets us back another 2 years when we're just getting started. You don't know, man. You don't know. So I like to divide my targets now. I never used to do this, but I think now it's safe practice. Divided by 8. You get like what? Like $1.20? I think that's worth it. So maybe you're thinking, oh, well, if you have, like, I know there are people out there, they have like 40K they could put in, but they've only put in like 3. And maybe this helps them get up to 10K, right? Or maybe you've got just like, maybe your weekly DCA buying and you're putting in like $100 a week. Hopefully this helps you. Maybe you can crank it up to 150 to 250 to $300 a week. I've also suggested another option you have. If you have savings here and you're using your savings to buy crypto, right, every week, what I've suggested to do is, look, take a big chunk of your savings, literally just dump it all in now. Dump it all in. Let's say someone had like 20 grand, just throw it in now, and then spend the whole year working to just replace your savings for the next 6 months. That's another option. So what you're doing is you're front loading. You're just borrowing money off yourself. You go, hey, I'm going to use my savings today, and then I'm going to spend the next 6 months doing that. Because what's going to happen is, I know what's going to happen. If the price is higher, you are probably not going to DCA as much. You're like, oh man, I don't want to be about buying HEX at 20 cents. And then you start playing with the numbers, and then you got to deal with so much junk. So this is your alternatives here. And remember, these numbers, nothing's guaranteed. Hell, I mean, like if we go down here, let's actually have a look at the real chart. Let's go look at it. What would it actually look like? We put on a log chart. You got to imagine what people are going to be going through people's minds up here. Look, this is like $1 to 70 cents. I know people don't like it, but like, hey, this is one of my lower targets. That's it. I know that it upsets people, but I don't care because I would rather you get aggressive here so you're comfortable at 70 cents to $1 rather than starting to believe in the $10 narrative. What if it stops at $2 and it drops 90% again? You don't know. So you got look how big the range is though. You're going to have 70 cents and then you have a big target here, $8. Somewhere in this window. Big difference, man. Huge difference. You get to the bottom of the window from here, that's still big. You get like a 10x. Top of the window, 110x. Okay? It's one base 10 here, so it's not that big in a log scale, but for us in linear charting, yeah, it is big. So you have to decide, what do you believe in? Some people might say, hey, I don't think we're in the second cycle wave here for Bitcoin HEX. I think the next one's only going to be 100x. You can say that. Or you can take half and half. And by the way, if it did do that, if it did the third cycle performance for HEX, you'd get about $1.80. $1.80 to $2. So you're going to have to decide. Or maybe you just scale out everywhere. Or maybe you just go, screw it. I'm not going to guess any of it. You're just going to do a stake every 6 months for the next 15 years, and you're just going to sell no matter what price it is. That's an option, That's an option. You don't have to guess anything. You just go like, you know what? Next here, 15 years, I don't care. I'm going to get a stake every like wherever it is, and you're just going to auto dump no matter where it comes. That's an option too. But at the end of the day, none of these are guaranteed. We've done the work, we've done the research. It can still all go to zero. Maybe something happens. You don't know. You never know. At least at the end of the day, you have a tool set here. Because we're thinking about how to behave rationally now. Because I promise you right now, man, when big, fat, green candles come, no one's going to be thinking with their head. No one. Everyone's going to be thinking with their heart and their emotions. And this time is different. And we're going straight here. And my final message, remember that these are moving targets. Okay? So you don't know what the next crowd... So I can tell you all this information now. I already know for us to get here, for us to even get towards $1, $2, we need to go from like 150,000 people staking HEX next to 1 million. So there's going to be an extra 800,000 people floating around. They're not going to listen to me or you, anyone else. They're going to have a different mindset. What are they going to be thinking? Are they going to be cheering like a $10 HEX when it's at $3? Because that's what happened to Cardano and XRP. And maybe $2 or $3 is the top. Maybe, though, it's also possible that they all start buying at $3, $4, $5, cheering $100. Okay? We don't know. We're going to have to wait for that. That's why it's a moving target. But hey, really during these depression phases, you need to be listening to these friends right now. You need to be drinking up this hopium stuff. You do. You do need to be doing it. But at least I've shown you, hey, there's a case where we go poopy and a case where we go rocket emoji. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can really do. All you can do is wake up every day and say, today's another day, I don't sell. I'll catch you next time, friends.